Have you ever looked back or lived in a moment where you kind of ask yourself, is this really happening? Is this my reality? It definitely has happened to me. My name is Andrea Casanova. I'm currently studying music production here at Valencia, and I did study music performance as well a while back. However, today I'm going to be talking about a very, very special moment in my life that I will never forget, and it's basically when I got to perform an original song for a live radio show. I've always been one that has loved music from when I was a little girl to present day, obviously since now I'm studying it, but basically how I got there from like doing poems and turning them into songs to taking classes in high school and doing musical theater to just being a part of like arts ministries and stuff like that. All of that kind of escalated and grew my love and passion for music to where it finalized my decision that I did want to pursue this in the long term as a career. And to kind of make it a career, I wanted to get my education first. So it was enough passion to end up coming to Valencia and auditioning for the music program. I then began Valencia like every other student, trying to keep an open mind, trying to stay positive and everything like that. And as you know, with Valencia, you have to take the mandatory classes like science, English. But for music students, we also have something called music theory. And in our final semester, we have a final composition project where basically we compose a song and we have to perform it in front of our peers. And it was exciting for me. I definitely wanted to make a new composition and bring like something fresh, a new idea, something that I hadn't done before. But unfortunately, that didn't work out the way I wanted it to. God reminded me of a song that I had written in a very dark time of my life where I essentially found hope again. And he reminded me of that song, and I ended up picking that as my final composition idea for my project. Little did I know that doing it the way I did, even though it was different than I expected, it was going to bring me to that unforgettable experience of being on that live show. So I say this because right after I performed, I had one of my peers, his name is Emmanuel, and he told me about his radio show called Feeding Your Soul Radio, and he asked me if I wanted to perform this song. Of course I said yes. I freaked out a little bit, I was super excited, told everybody about it, and I practiced until the show eventually came to be. And once that day arrived, I got there early, was there with a couple of my loved ones, and I did arrive so that way they can kind of interview me and get to know me as a person, as a musician, and everything like that. And also so that they could know the story behind this song and how I wrote it. And after all of that, after he interviewed me, he said the famous line, stay tuned after the break. Basically, you're going to hear Andrea and her new music, her new song, More Than Willing. And after I heard that, that was basically when it clicked for me, and I knew that it was something that I was never going to forget. And this is something that normally happens to mainstream artists. It was happening to me. I was finally able to ask myself, is this actually happening? And I got to tell myself, yeah, it actually is. So I got to see my dream come true. I got to be encouraging, hopefully, to someone that listened, and I loved that experience. I will never forget it. So take it from me. If you ever kind of catch yourself asking, hey, is this really happening? You're not alone, and I encourage you to cherish that moment because it definitely shows you how far you've come.